You're scurrying around, you don't know what to do, time is ticking, and you're kind of out of options. This guide is for all of you out there who don't know what to do for Valentine's yet, whether you're with someone, you have a significant other or not, you just want to go with your friends somewhere, where most things don't require reservations, if at all. They're reasonably priced and fun. And I have it all categorized into 4 different areas: nostalgic themed bars, a spooky burlesque show, and even a prom. Welcome to the Nostalchica. If you clicked on today's video, then you know very well why you're here, so let's not waste any time. I will quickly say that this look is inspired by the 90s and Valentine's. I'm an 80s girl at heart, but the 90s are growing on me. Got the scrunchie, some hoops, bangs. We gotta have the burgundy lip if it's the 90s, and those like non-existent eyebrows. So enough of that, and let's get into this. We will be talking about 4 categories of Valentine's date ideas, depending on your energy level and what you're going for. First category will be a chill Valentine's, where you can still go out and have fun, but be a little more laid back. Then we're gonna move to active/day trip Valentine's dates, your hikes, your walks, going out for fresh air, being outdoors, beaches. And next we have night out dates, a night out on the town, dinners and events, nostalgic themed bars, a spooky burlesque show. And then finally we have the at-home category. So these are things where you could just stay in the comfort of your own home and not worry about stepping foot outside your door. Whether it's Netflix and chill, making your own pop-up bar of your favorite foods and drinks, a at-home spa day, I have it all covered in this video. So let's get right to the first category. I have going to the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. For Valentine's, they're showing My Bloody Valentine, the original early 80s slasher film. This idea is more geared toward those who like the horror movies, scary movies, spooky stuff. This is a perfect little date night, or just with your friends, your ghoul friends or gal pals. Just enjoy an 80s slasher classic. I actually went to one of these last month for Friday the 13th, since it fell on January 13th, and they showed the original Friday the 13th in 3D, and they hadn't shown it since the original release in 82. I'm gonna put up the organization somewhere up here that puts together these events where they show older movies, particularly horror and scary movies, at the TCL Chinese Theater. When we did it for Friday the 13th, it was so worth it. We paid 16 bucks, and that was per person. It includes your ticket to see the movie as well as a free beer, and we also got to see some of the stars in Friday the 13th from the original 3D film. They were there talking to us after the showing, telling us their experiences, some stories when the film came out. Now, if scary movies aren't your vibe, you're not a horror gal or pal, you can go on over to the Alamo Draft House in LA. This one's in downtown LA, and they show different movies. And the cool thing about the Alamo is that they have their own bar. You can order drinks. I believe you can order food. And I want to say that you can actually eat and drink while watching the movie, not just before or after. If you want to do it all in one, have a Valentine's date in one place, you eat, you drink, and you watch a movie together, this would be the spot. Now, if movies aren't your thing and you want to try something else, why don't you just replace that with a trip to a museum? One I would highly recommend, which is the Mystic Museum in Burbank. There's just a plethora of spooky, witchy, horror, even campy vibes all up in here. The first time we went, it was pre-pandemic. Seeing different art, different items on display. They even have a shopping section where you can buy accessories and candles and soaps and just all this awesome stuff. Then we went a second time. They had this event called Slashback Video, where they decorated the place like an 80s horror blockbuster. It blew my mind away. I actually felt like I was in the 80s. Right now, they actually have a 90s slasher themed event. It looks super fun, and they describe it as an art show, photo op gallery, and immersive experience. So you can only imagine what awesome things they have there. I believe it's available even after Valentine's. So if you wanted to celebrate Valentine's after Valentine's Day, this could also work too. There's another chill yet spooky date idea for you. If spooky is not your thing, you can substitute this Mystic Museum with another museum of your choice, or an art gallery, or an immersive experience like the Bob Marley exhibit is out right now. Next category, we're moving to active dates slash day trips. So what I mean by that is this is something that you can do like a hike, a walk, something to get your blood pumping. And not only can you go and do these things, but you can turn them into day trips and spend the whole day there exploring the town or city of your choice. So this date idea, you can go on a morning hike in Malibu. I would recommend Leo Carrillo State Beach. Fun little fact, The Karate Kid, the original movie from 1984, was actually partially filmed there. So for any of the other fellow 80s fans out there, thought you would like to know that. Once you go into this state beach, they have hiking trails. Once you get to the top, you have a beautiful view of the ocean and the beach. So worth it once you get there. And the level, I would say, was moderate. We only went maybe a mile or two and then came back, but it was super fun. We didn't feel like we were gonna pass out when we got back. And after that, we worked up an appetite, so we went to Neptune's Net. The seafood is just so good. I'm talking scallops, shrimp, fish, you name it, they have it. Fried, French fries, you know, that kind of seafood meal. And it's right off the beach. You have a beautiful view. What's really cool about this state beach is that it's connected to the hiking area, but also kind of like a private little beach. After you're done with the hike, you could see in the parking lot at the very end, it leads you to this little tunnel, and you go through the tunnel. It's very short, but on the other side is this private like little beach. And when we went, it was a Saturday afternoon. It was not packed, and it was everything we wanted in a beach without the large crowds. So you can make it like a hike, a little bite to eat, and then spend time at the beach. Then there's a part two. So if you want to make it into a day trip, then I would recommend going to Calamigos Ranch. You actually park your car, they valet. I think it's valet only parking, so keep that in mind. It was about $15 for us. You go in, there's actually restaurants there and a bar, and it's all outdoors and beautiful. They even have like a lake inside where you can just sit in the chair and bask in the sun. And there's that cute little coffee shop where you can drink outside. Okay, so active slash day trip idea number 2 is going to PV, that is Palos Verdes. That is in the South Bay of LA, and it is gorgeous. This is also a walk slash hike, but it's very easy. It's pretty much just a straight path. There aren't any hills or any rugged terrain or anything like that. It's really all about the views. And this is at Point Vicente Lighthouse. So you start your trail at the lighthouse, that's where you park, and then you kind of walk along the coast and you just see the ocean, beautiful cliffs. If you're lucky, you'll see some whales, and you can eat before, maybe grab some breakfast or lunch in one of the restaurants nearby. Palos Verdes has a lot of dining options around, and just in the South Bay in general. Torrance isn't too far, Redondo Beach isn't too far, so you have some surrounding areas where you can find some really good food. If you're feeling adventurous, you can extend this date into a day trip and just kind of explore the town, explore the surrounding cities, check local events happening that weekend or the week of Valentine's Day. Okay, next category is night out. This one, we're gonna go into our nostalgia part of this channel. So we all know we like things spooky and nostalgic. We already talked about some spooky stuff to do for V-Day, but now we're going to talk about some nostalgic options. The first being a Blockbuster bar date, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a bar themed around Blockbuster Video. So if you were alive during that time, you remember what it was like going into a Blockbuster and renting your favorite video. It's very much that, but you're ordering drinks, you can get food, and you can sit in these big beanbag chairs that are really comfy. Tons of photo ops, of course, and also an outdoor area, so you're not just inside. One of my favorite things that I loved about this place is that when you walk in, it's just like when you're picking a movie. There's the wall, you pick the movie you want, but in this case, It's like the drink that you want. If you want coffee, water, or an alcoholic beverage, you just pick the one on the shelf and it's in the movie case and you bring it to the counter and they ring you up and bring you your drink or your food or whatever you want. A lot of the drinks are named after movies of the 90s. So it's definitely couples and friends friendly. Great for couples and friends. And I believe they're having this pop-up bar until the end of the month, if not early March. So double check on that. But I've seen tickets as low as 10 bucks. And this would be great just to do on its own for the experience, relive your 90s life, or if you weren't alive back then, kind of get a taste for what it was. It was pretty awesome. Another idea is you can go to an arcade. For this video, I'm gonna recommend Barcade. When I tell you, I felt like I was transported back in time to the 80s, I mean it. They had Michael Jackson Moonwalker game, among many others, of course, Pac-Man. They had Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I mean, once you go in, it's just games on games on games. Since it is called Barcade, you can order drinks there as well. If you're a big arcade person, this is the place for you. And if you're not from LA, but in the US, they do have other locations from what I know of in Chicago, New York, and Detroit. There might be more, so I would definitely look into Barcade to see the closest one near you. Now, let's say you want to keep things simple. You just want to do a dinner, a nice dinner. Well, there's many places here in LA that have stood the test of time. They've been here forever and the food is exquisite. One on my list that I'm going to suggest doing as a date night is Musso and Frank, also known as Musso and Frank Grill, where they serve American food. It's been around since 1919 and it is a big part of Hollywood history. I would definitely recommend something like that, a vintage retro restaurant. Now, this next idea is if you don't want to do dinner, there's one called Lupiot Kitchen. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it is French and it's a cute little place to get some coffee, brunch, lunch, breakfast. So if you want like an earlier Valentine's Day, then this would be a really cute place to go. One thing I really loved about this place is its character. The restaurant is this beautiful blue color. Feel like you're kind of at home. Now this is for the spooky folks. I'm reeling you back in with all the spooky vibes. And this one's a My Bloody Valentine, an evening of horror burlesque. And this is happening in NoHo, North Hollywood at the Federal Bar. Now for all my ghouls out there, anybody who wants to maybe have prom again as an adult, I got something for you. In Pasadena, they're doing a Valentine's Day prom 2023, so you can dress in formal attire. I even pulled out the laptop because it's just so much to know here. Something definitely you'd want to do with friends or like your significant other and friends. Just sounds really fun. It says here each ticket comes with an entry to amazing space, an immersive art space with over 20 exhibits, encouraging us to love ourselves and to love others. I love that. Even that right there. I'm getting sold right now. And then it says each guest will experience a complete V-Day mini pop-up. The night will be filled with art, love, music, and more photo ops than you can count, and much, much more. Formal dress is preferred. Ages 21 and up as alcohol will be served. There are tickets for this event and it's looking like a little over 27 bucks per person for this. And it says guests will enjoy live music, special guest DJ. Ooh, I wonder who. Falling in Prom, a self-guided music and art pairing, as well as hors d'oeuvres from local vendors, free giveaways, and of course, themed cocktails. This sounds like a boatload of fun. Like if I had to say, like out of all the things I talked about today, this one really is catching my attention. And this one is for February 11th. All the ideas that I mentioned in this video can definitely go for anybody, whether you're a couple in a romantic relationship or just going with friends, your gals, your pals, your ghouls. So it works either way. And that's the beauty of Valentine's Day and the meaning behind it. Now, if you don't want to go anywhere and you want to stay home, maybe Netflix and chill, there's also that too. And I have some ideas to make it fun at home as well. Now, in addition to Netflix and chill, you can very well do that, but there are some other ideas at home that you can also do. One of my favorites is doing like a pop-up bar. So somewhere in your house, in your place, wherever it's most convenient, You kind of set up a bar of your favorite food, even drinks, and theme it for Valentine's Day. For my case, I would do Halloween, so you can definitely do something like that. Or you can change it up. Maybe you want to do like an 80s Valentine's Day theme and put some nostalgic snacks and food, even drinks. You can also do your own spa at home, like have a spa day at home, get some bath bombs. In my case, I would do some spooky themed ones or nostalgia themed ones and other spa like products. But you could set up a bath, do candles, get yourself a little glass of wine, massage oils. I mean, the options are endless, and you could just have a nice relaxing spa day at home so that when you do your Netflix and chill, you're really ready to chill. Another tried and true idea is doing a game board night. So getting your favorite games and playing them. Even if they're not board games, maybe mix it up and play some Mario Kart. Do some video games as well. If you don't feel like cooking, order in some food. Get something from your favorite pizza spot, your favorite Italian spot, your favorite Mexican spot, wherever, and just bring it home. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to spend Valentine's or Halloween, whatever you call it, at home, as long as it makes you happy. Well, I hope that was helpful for you. If any of these ideas sound good to you, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think. As I mentioned, a lot of these I've done personally, so if you have any questions whatsoever about any of the places, where to park, and any details like that, feel free to reach out to me. Leave a comment here, DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to help. In a couple more weeks, I'll have another YouTube video ready for you. Next on my list to talk about maybe another trailer reaction. We got a spooky show coming out with a trailer dropping at the end of the month, so maybe I'll do a reaction to that. And if you want to see more Valentine's Halloween content, I will be posting more of that on my Instagram at @Nostalchica. I'm actually thinking of doing a Valentine/Halloween small business takeover. I did do this for Friday the 13th, where the whole week in my stories on Instagram, I shared different small businesses making items like accessories or apparel, anything like that, art, stickers that had to do with Friday the 13th and Jason. I did it for Scream with Scream 6 coming out. So for Valentine's Halloween, I'm going to be doing the same. So if you want to see all that, make sure to check the gram. And remember, Valentine's Day is a day you want to be happy, show people that you love them, but also show yourself a lot of love. That's also very important. And I feel like in this holiday, we can forget that and forget about ourselves when we really should be celebrating ourselves as well. So make sure to show yourself some love too. And if you don't do any of these things in this video, that's totally fine too. Do what makes you happy, the least amount of pressure, the least amount of stress. That's why I made this guide, so that you can kind of do things either spur of the moment, little to no planning. If you have any ideas yourself that you would like to share with anyone else who sees this video, feel free to put that in the comments. You never know, your ideas just might help someone plan their Valentine's. If this is your first time watching my video, I do a mix of spooky and nostalgic content. It could be just spooky, just nostalgic, or a mix of both. If you have any video topic ideas or suggestions you want me to cover, please feel free to let me know. Don't be a stranger, don't be shy. I'm happy to consider them. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe and keep persevering. Nostalchica out.